Jim Carrey, the man who hid his tears behind the world's laughter. From poverty to fame, a complex journey between comedy and existentialism. Jim Carrey is not just a comedic actor who made the world laugh with his rubber-like facial expressions and exaggerated performances. He is a complex cultural phenomenon, embodying the contradiction between laughter and pain, success and emptiness, fame and self-discovery. Behind every clown face he painted on screen lies the story of a man who endured poverty, battled depression, and reached the peak of glory, only to realize that happiness was not in Hollywood, but in spirituality and painting. Jim Eugene Carrey was born on January 17, 1962, in Newmarket, Ontario, Canada. He grew up in a poor family. His father, Percy Carrey, was a saxophonist who failed to achieve his musical dream and had to work as an accountant to save his family from bankruptcy. When he lost his job, the family became homeless and had to live in a small van for 2 years. His mother, Kathleen, suffered from chronic mental illnesses, leaving young Jim responsible for taking care of her and his siblings. From an early age, Jim used comedy as a survival mechanism. At the age of 8, he began imitating neighbors and family members to make his mother laugh, fearing that depression might consume her. He later said, "I was afraid my mom would die from sadness, so I learned to make her laugh. That was probably the first time I realized that comedy could save a life." In high school, Jim, who was tall and skinny, 188 centimeters, was often bullied. But instead of letting it break him, he turned mockery into his weapon, becoming the class clown. At 15, he performed his first stand-up comedy act at a Toronto club, dressed as Elvis Presley. At 16, he dropped out of school to work as a security guard and janitor to support his family, while honing his comedic skills at night. In 1979, he decided to move to Los Angeles, carrying nothing but a big dream and a fake check he wrote for himself worth $10 million, dated 1995, with a note, "For services rendered in comedy." He kept it in his wallet for years, until it became a reality. In 1983, his television career took off with a comedy show, but his real breakthrough came in 1990 when he joined In Living Color, where he created characters like Fire Marshal Bill, showcasing his unique talent for physical transformation. The year 1994 was a golden year for Carrey, marking the release of 3 films that cemented his comedic legacy: Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber. Though critics called Ace Ventura the dumbest movie in history, it grossed over $107 million worldwide. The Mask turned him into the most sought-after comedy actor, portraying a shy bank clerk who transforms into a green-faced cartoonish superhero. Finally, Dumb and Dumber solidified his status as the king of silly comedy. By 1995, Jim Carrey became the highest-paid actor in Hollywood, earning $20 million per film, fulfilling the promise he had once written on that imaginary check. But behind all the success, there was a darker side. Despite his fame, Carrey suffered from severe bouts of depression. In a 2004 interview, he admitted, "When I reached the top, I looked around and found nothing. I felt like I had broken through the illusion and discovered that everything was empty." After his divorce from actress Lauren Holly in 2005, he isolated himself for months and experimented with antidepressants before eventually deciding to quit them. One of his most intense experiences was filming Man on the Moon in 1999, where he portrayed the late comedian Andy Kaufman. He didn't just act the role, he lived it. Even off-camera, he refused to break character, convincing many that he was channeling Kaufman's spirit. His colleagues later revealed in a 2017 documentary that Jim behaved as if Andy had possessed him. Carrey admitted, "Andy Kaufman invaded my soul. I no longer knew who I really was." This role left a profound psychological impact on him. In recent years, Carrey turned to art and meditation as an escape from his inner struggles. In 2017, he surprised the world with his art exhibition Shattered Ghosts, featuring abstract paintings that reflected his battle with depression. One of his most famous paintings, Need Some Light, depicts a man holding a lantern in the middle of a storm, a symbol of his ongoing search for meaning. He also embraced Buddhist meditation, adopting the philosophy of non-attachment. In a 2014 commencement speech, he said, "I learned to let go of everything to have everything. Success is not something you buy, it is something you discover within stillness." Though he has partially stepped away from the limelight, Jim Carrey remains one of Hollywood's most unique figures. Few know that he is also a talented sculptor, creating wire sculptures that he describes as a form of prayer. He keeps beehives on his farm, calling them his spiritual friends. He has also turned down major film roles, including The Hangover, because he did not want to promote comedy that mocks addiction. Even in everyday life, he avoids fame by using an alias when making reservations. He goes by Mr. Fragile. Between laughter and tears, comedy and existentialism, Jim Carrey remains one of the most complex figures in the entertainment industry. He made millions laugh, yet he himself faced some of life's deepest sorrows, only to realize that happiness is not found in stardom, but in discovering one's true self.